The year is 1863. The place is Gettysburg. You know, that little town in Pennsylvania where 50,000 men fought and died during the Civil War. Well, here come two young sweethearts named Lizzie and David. They're in love, but he's got to go fight for the Confederacy. So he joins up with General Lee's army. She stays behind in Gettysburg, working as a nurse and caring for wounded soldiers. Now, while David's out there fighting for the South, Lizzie meets an African-American soldier named Isaac. He's part of the Union Army, but he sneaks away one day so he can meet up with Lizzie, and they start a secret relationship. David comes back from war and finds out about Isaac, so he challenges him to a sword duel. Now, before they get down to it, though, Lizzie shows up and begs them both to stop. She tells them she's pregnant and soon gives birth to a baby boy. And both men become fathers to the child. But they keep their involvement with Lizzie a secret from each other. Some time passes, and one day David goes into town to find supplies. When he gets there, he sees black soldiers and white soldiers walking around together freely, fraternizing after the war has ended. David feels like a stranger in his own hometown now and doesn't want anything to do with it. So he just goes back home. That's when he hears that Isaac and Lizzie have been arrested for stealing supplies from a train. David knows that Lizzie would never do such a thing, so he decides to investigate. Sure enough, he finds out that someone set them up. It was actually a jealous ex-girlfriend of Isaac who wanted to break them up. But by then, Lizzie and Isaac had already left town. David sets off to find them, traveling through the night. Now, most everyone else is asleep, but he can hear the wind blowing through the trees and feel the dead leaves crunching under his feet. Suddenly, he sees a couple walking ahead of him. He calls out to them, but they don't respond. So he approaches them and sees that it's Isaac and Lizzie. They're carrying all of their possessions and are ready to start a new life together. Now, David's not sure if he should be angry or happy for them. He wants to confront them, but he can't find the right words. So he just watches them disappear into the darkness. And that's when he hears a horse trotting behind him. It's a Union soldier who tells David that Isaac and Lizzie were killed in a house fire earlier that night. The only thing that survived the blaze was their baby. Now, David must make a choice. Does he raise the baby as his own, or does he give the child to his Confederate family? Either way, he's gonna be raising a child without a mother. So he makes up his mind and runs as fast as he can through the dark, moonless night to get back to his horse. But the closer he gets, the more he thinks he might have made the wrong decision. Then he stops dead in his tracks because he can hear the faint sound of music coming from the nearby trees. As he stands there, listening, a couple walks past him. Once again, he recognizes them. It's Isaac and Lizzie, hand in hand, dancing in the moonlight. David tries to call out to them, but his voice cracks and he can't get the words out. He watches them twirl around and around until they melt back into the shadows. Then he turns and runs faster than ever. Well, that was the tale as told by a local historian. And it's one of the most popular ghost stories in Gettysburg. The main characters, Lizzie and David, are considered to be the ghostly lovers of Gettysburg. There are other names for them too. Sometimes people refer to them as the ghost couple or even the ghost man and woman. But no matter what you call them, this is a story that people love to hear when they visit the historic town. There have been several books written about them, including one titled simply Ghostly Lovers. And this particular version of their story was recorded by author William Hanna. He heard it straight from the historian who actually witnesses the ghosts on the battlefield. According to him, the historian saw the ghost couple over 24 times, Sometimes they'd be walking hand in hand, other times they'd be dancing. But the most amazing part is that these apparitions always seem to appear at night. But why do they show themselves? What's the meaning of their ghostly embrace? Well, if we look to local lore for answers, we'll find that there are many different beliefs. Some say the lovers danced to honor the anniversary of the night they died. Others say that they appear to the historian to thank him for taking care of their abandoned baby. In any case, this story is similar to others that came out of the Civil War era. After all, we're talking about a time period when men were fighting and dying on a massive scale. So naturally, people found themselves wondering how the dearly departed spent their afterlife. Often these tales focused on young lovers who were torn apart by the conflict. Take, for example, the Ballad of Barbara Allen. This is a folk song about a girl named Barbara who rejects the advances of a handsome young soldier. Later, she regrets her decision because he dies as a result. Some versions of the story say he's killed in battle, but others say he dies of a broken heart. Either way, the song ends with her realizing too late that she loved him all along. You also have other ghost stories from Gettysburg that share similarities with the tale of Lizzie and David. For instance, there's the ghost of Private Charles S. Lewis. In life, he fell in love with a waitress while stationed in town. Her name was Helen Viola. They started dating, but he had to leave eventually. He went off to fight for the Union Army, but he never forgot about Helen. When he returned to Gettysburg years later, he looked her up and asked her out again. She said yes, but tragically, Charles died a week later. They never did get to go on that date. But some say his ghost can still be seen walking around Gettysburg with a bouquet of flowers, looking for his lost love. So now we come back to the question, what exactly are we supposed to make of the ghostly lovers of Gettysburg? Are they real, or are they figments of our imagination? Well, consider the fact that there are multiple reports of seeing them, going all the way back to the 1860s. And let's not forget the historian who claimed to see them over 24 times. Could he have been lying? Maybe, but he could have also been telling the truth. If that's the case, then this is a story that reaches beyond the realm of mere fiction. In reality, it's probably best to approach these kinds of stories with an open mind. We can't say for certain what's true and what's not, so instead, we should focus on the message being conveyed. The tale of Lizzie and David comforts those who listen to it, because it offers them hope for an afterlife filled with love and happiness. During the Civil War, families were torn apart, not just by the conflict, but by loyalty to the Union or the Confederacy. Many people couldn't even visit their loved ones' graves because it was too dangerous. Even after the war ended, it was difficult for people to move on. That's why stories of star-crossed lovers who find each other after death are so appealing. They remind us that nothing can keep true love apart forever. As far as the ghostly lovers of Gettysburg go, they may or may not exist, but the belief in them reflects the human need for connection and belonging. No matter what side of the war you were on, you could still find love in a hopeless situation. And sometimes that love transcended even death itself. Hey there, everyone. I'm here to talk about some new merchandise. We recently released a limited edition pin featuring Lizzie and David from the Ghostly Lovers of Gettysburg. These pins are silver and gold and include a small velvet pouch. It's perfect for anyone who loves the story of these ghostly lovers. The pins are available online. If you enjoy hearing ghost stories, folklore, and legends, then make sure to subscribe. New videos are uploaded every Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.